Hey guys, Nash Bueller here, and I'm going to be continuing our series on the haunted houses that we have sold or interacted with over the last 35 years in the business. So I'm going to be telling you about a home over in Old Town, Louisville on this video. So let's go ahead and hop in. Okay guys, and we're back. So this home was actually in Old Town, Louisville. So those of you not familiar, it's actually the oldest section, go figure, in Louisville. This particular home that we had listed 4 or 5 years ago now, it was built in the 19 teens. So it was actually the second home built in Louisville. It was one of the brother of the founders of Louisville. And this was a client that had come to us and said that they had been experiencing some unusual events at nighttime. So they said they'd come home and just some weird and unusual occurrences would happen. So I was set in charge of holding the home open by myself. So I had an open house there. So I get there to the house and I'm getting everything set up. I put my signs out and all that. And I walk into the kitchen and all of the cabinet doors, all the facings had been taken off. And I was kind of confused by this. I was like, okay, I didn't think much of it. So then I go outside and to kind of set this up, this home looks straight out of haunting, out of like a House of Connecticut. This is a old school Victorian wraparound porch, lace doilies in the windows. Pretty much you name a haunted house, this one had it. So I'm in there and I'm walking around the house and I saw the cabinet doors off and I was like, okay, what's going on here? What's the story? I'm gonna get questions about this. So I call Kurt and he goes, oh, the owners let us know that they would wake up in the middle of the night and all of the cabinet doors would just spring open and they would just be wide open in the middle of the night, and that randomly the faucet taps in the home would just turn on. So they said they spent so much time having to go through and close all the cabinet doors, they just decided not worth it anymore. Let's just take them off and we'll be done with it. So I kind of creepy there, and I was like, oh, that's a little unusual. So I'm getting around, I'm going and turning lights on for the open house, and I get upstairs and the home is mostly vacant. The owners had moved out. They'd moved on to something else because they were a little creeped out by the home. And in one of the upstairs bedrooms, there is an old school, like 50s wrought iron bed frame in there. And there's a rocking chair sitting over in the corner. And in the rocking chair, there is a porcelain doll sitting in this rocking chair, which I remember I made note of because I was like, who leaves a rocking chair, a wrought iron fence, and a creepy doll sitting in the chair? So I flip the lights on, kind of a little creeped out by this. I go over into the closet and I flip the lights on in the closet, and there's a ladder in the closet that goes up to the attic. So I had to go take a look at this. So I go climb up the ladder, and upstairs in the attic, there's a bunch of strings of Franklin lights and just a single writing desk just sat under these lights. Didn't go up in the attic, needless to say. That was not one that I was gonna venture up to. Why they left that alone with the creepy doll sitting in the rocking chair, I don't know. I would love to say I had just a crazy experience at this open house, but there wasn't, unfortunately, much. I do remember at one point, this was the middle of summer, so it was 100 some odd degrees outside, and there was one point that I was in the middle of the home, and I did just feel a cold burst of air come through the house, and it's not in any place that a draft would have come through or the 100-degree temperature would have cooled the air, but it was one that, just a very unsettling house. We still ended up selling it the first weekend on the market, so it was kind of crazy, but yeah, you can go visit it if you go drive around Old Town. There's a couple little old homes, and it's one that's on the corner. You can probably take a look at it. So that's a story of our house in Old Town. Stay tuned next. We'll be coming back with another story here from another past client. Thanks, guys.